What's happening, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm doing a little extra so I can actually make sure y'all can see me. And now I can see that y'all can see me. Hey! And welcome to Moment with Moschetti, your mental health and spiritual wellness podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, your auntie, sister, cousin, best friend, always coming with the realness. Moschetti herself. Hey. You can't take me nowhere. No, you can't take me. And this is my space right now. This is my house right now until we done. Anyways, hi. Welcome to the Moment with Moschetti podcast. I am Moschetti, and I am very glad to have you guys back. I have a very, very interesting topic for you guys today. I decided to start a series. I decided to slow down with my talking. I've decided to start a series called Reclaiming My Life. And today's episode is dedicated towards the topic of discipline. And I talk a lot about being honorable to yourself and not abandoning yourself and your value system and the things you want. But I often talk about how goal setting is not about running away from things, but it is about walking towards what it is that you want out of your life. And so I decided to start this series called Reclaiming My Life, for us to pull in some of the things that we do want from our lives that may have been lost along the way, or we may have never acquired in the first place. And so we're going to get into that. But first, if you're new here, hi, I'm Moschetti. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Keep in contact. If you're not new here, you already know that I start off every episode with what I call the church announcements. I feel like we need like a shout track or so. I said I was gonna do a theme song, and I'm probably gonna say that for like the next year before I actually write a theme song for church announcements. But regardless, we start off with the church announcements, and these are things that are going on in my personal life or things that are going on also in my church life. And also it's an opportunity to help keep you involved with what I have going on in my life, but what we also have going on in the community and things that I'm directly connected with. So, church announcements. As I had mentioned last week, Moment with Moschetti has a Facebook page officially. Go ahead and follow it. Go ahead and like and comment. It is a gathering place for you to keep abreast of what is happening with the show, any announcements that I may have to make, and let you know, keep up with past episodes and upcoming episodes. So please go ahead and follow the Moment with Moschetti Facebook page, Moment with Moschetti. Like, comment, subscribe, on all that stuff. Coming up next week, Friday. Look, y'all, I'm getting old. Okay, I have a birthday coming up, and in celebration for my birthday, I am hosting Moschetti's Birthday Spectacular Variety Show. Oh wait, no, I should have did this. Moschetti's Birthday Spectacular Variety Show. Yes, on Friday, May 3rd at the Paradise Social Lounge, which is located at 3413 North Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, we'll be having a variety show. So I've got some great artistic friends of mine who will be coming through. We'll have music, we'll have dancing, we'll have comedy, we'll have poetry. We're going to have a variety of things in celebration of me and my birthday. So please come on out. It is a ticketed event. You can find the tickets on Eventbrite, or you can inbox me directly and I can let you know how to get it. $10 advance ticket, $15 at the door. So you're going to want to get your tickets ASAP. It's going to be a good time. I've been in rehearsals. My leg hurt right now from doing entirely too much. You're going to want to see exactly how much I'm going to want to do. You're going to want to see this. You already know I think I'm Beyonce. Like, this is serious. This is not lip service. I have a problem, and y'all need to help me solve it. No, I'm really excited. I'm excited about having you guys come celebrate my birthday with me. I've just been I've been fooled by the number of people who said that they're excited about coming. And so I'm just excited about the whole thing happening. I'm a little tired. Because it's been some long weeks of prepping and coordinating, but I'm really excited for the whole thing to happen. If you were at Moschetti's Christmas Spectacular Variety Show, you already know how I get down. I like to put on a show. So I'm really extra excited for my birthday. Again, Friday, May 3rd at the Paradise Social Lounge, 3413 North MLK Drive. And those are it for the church announcements. But I decided to add in a new section this week called the praise report. Because I got some really look. I have some news that's so fantastic it kind of makes me want to cry. I almost don't even want to be sharing it because like sometimes it's too good to be real. And it may or may not be that big of a deal to y'all, but it's the biggest of deals to me. So if you know I've been on I work as a therapist, but I've been on a journey throughout my career to obtain my full licensure. I still practice under what's called a training license. So you get out of school, you're allowed to practice while you obtain a whole bunch of hours. And you also have to take a big old long 4-hour long test. And so I sat down and took the National Clinical Mental Health Counseling exam at the beginning of the month. 4 hours, 255 minutes. They only let me go to the bathroom for 15 in the middle. And this is a praise report section. So you already know I passed. This journey through my mental health career has been a long one. It's been a long one because number one, I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to take it this far. And number two, I don't know if I had the confidence or discipline to move forward. But I put it in my heart that if God has it for me, I'm going to go get it. And I took the next step to going to go get it. And I'm really, really proud of myself. So anybody who's clapping for me, anybody who's cheering for me, anybody who's rooting for me, we did something else. And we're really proud of it. And it was really, really hard. So that's that for the praise report. If you guys have any praise reports that you want to share, feel free to drop them in the comments. I would love to share praise reports with you guys. We're going to add that into the show as an additional segment because it's always good to celebrate yourself and it's always great to celebrate each other. Amen. Amen. All right. With that being said, we're going to go get on into the show. Well, into the topic for today. So the topic for today is reclaiming my life. Discipline, self-discipline. So I was having a conversation with God. We be talking. Oh, one of my lights just went out. I don't know if I kicked it or not. Thank you, Mr. Producer Star. And as soon as I said I had a conversation with God and the light was like, bloop. I have conversations with God through prayer and meditation. And a lot of the things that you guys end up hearing are a result of those conversations that I have. And a lot of those conversations I have consist of, well, what now? What next? Especially when I can sense that God is taking me through different seasons. When one season ends, we're moving forward with the next one. I'm like, okay, well, what is it that you're looking for me to learn? What is it that you're looking for me to develop? Because we've already had conversations about what I want in life. We already have conversations about where I am. Sometimes I'm like, God, well, what is missing that is keeping me from getting from where I am to where I need to be? And God said to me very loud and clear that discipline, self-discipline, is a thing that he wants me to work on right now. And when that dropped into my spirit, I immediately became frustrated and discouraged because I do a lot of things. I have my hands in a lot of things. And the things that I have my hands in require for me to constantly be on the go. I almost feel like I have too many things from time to time. And I've been working on dropping off things and disengaging from what doesn't really serve me or what's taking up unnecessary time or what's being a distraction. And so as I'm shedding all of these things, I'm kind of narrowing it down to what is most important, what I should really pour my energy into. And when I got to that point, God is like, discipline. And I'm like, well, what do you want from me? Like, I'm working hard at the things that I'm doing. What do you want from me? And I got overwhelmed by the idea of having to add discipline to my life. I didn't think I was undisciplined. But as I studied the idea of what discipline is, I realized that there are many areas in my life that I'm working hard in, but I'm not necessarily working diligently in. I'm not necessarily operating in a disciplined manner. And that by adding discipline to my life, I'm not adding more stress. It's not another thing for me to manage. As a matter of fact, it is a system to help manage me to make my life easier. And so, coming into these two scriptures, I'll share two scriptures with you guys because I got some scriptures this week, and we'll talk about how they tie into this concept of discipline. And so, the first scripture I have this week is from Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is chapter 22, verse 6, and it is, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." And that is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. And I also brought to you today Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So that was Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12. And I'll share with you guys where those fit as we go along. So I got overwhelmed initially by the idea of discipline. And y'all know how I am. I had to go in and define what is the word discipline. Because the reason why I got overwhelmed with it is that many of the times we think of discipline as punishment. Many of the times, because of the way we were raised, because of the way we were treated historically in this country, because of the environments that we come from, we think of the word discipline as punishment. We make them one and the same. You hear discipline, you hear butt whooping. And that's not necessarily the case. And so the definitions I pulled out for discipline is control gained by enforcing obedience or order. Control gained by enforcing obedience or order. And the other definition is orderly or prescribed conduct or pattern of behavior. Orderly or prescribed conduct or a pattern of behavior. And so I wanted to lean on those just a little bit more as far as the definition of discipline, because it's not about punishing. It's not about beating you up. It's not about berating you. It's not about bringing you down when you make a misstep. It is about guiding you so that you are going in the direction that you should go. And that's why I pulled up, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Now, many of us use that as, take a child to church and they're going to stay at church. That is pretty much like the top connotation, the top interpretation of that scripture I see. When really, I think it's a warning. I think it's a warning shot. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Train up your child in discipline. Train up your child in education. Train up your child in respect. Train up your child in disorderly. Train up your child in disrespect. Train up your child. However you train up your child, whatever value system you put into your children is the way that they will operate with the world. So your discipline, your self-discipline, starts at home. It starts at home when you're a child. It starts at home when you're a baby. Like, did your parents try to put you on a schedule? Did they feed you at the table, or did they let you run around the house with food just in your hand? Like, what are the value systems that did they love on you? Did they hug on you? Do you communicate in your house? There are many activities and many pieces of value that are taught when you are a child. And that is the way that you will begin to operate throughout life. And so if you were brought up in a home that has lots of structure, lots of discipline, lots of guidance, lots of order, lots of rules, it's likely that you are going to adopt that value system. Now, whether or not you rebel against it because your parents were a little too harsh is a different piece of the conversation. But really, you're taught these things. And regardless of whether or not you rebel against them, if there are good systems in that value, you'll pick it back up when you get old. You won't depart too far from it. And things that are too far outside of that and too disorderly will be hard for you to attend to. And that is the same thing as if you grow up with a lack of discipline, if you grow up with a lack of order, if you grow up with a lack of structure, discipline sounds like an offense. It sounds like an attack. When you are brought up in the only form of discipline that you understand, Anybody trying to correct you becomes an attack. It's not just seen as one. It's the only way that you know how to interpret correction. And that's how we end up with people that's like, I'm grown, I do what I want. And to a certain degree, you are grown. You can do what you want. Or people who are mega overprotective of their children, you can't even tell their children anything. These my kids. I'm gonna raise them how I want to. And that's completely your right to do what you desire with your life. But when you are a person that rebels against correction, rebels against discipline, that rebels against guidance, you're missing out on opportunities for your own personal growth. And many of the reasons why we rebel against that is because discipline sounds too much like punishment when discipline is not punishment. If discipline is not punishment, then what is it? Discipline is order. Discipline is structure. Discipline is a gift from yourself to yourself. Discipline makes you do things in a systematic, orderly way so that the things that you need to get accomplished in life actually get accomplished. Discipline is structure that is in place to not make your life harder, not take away things that you desire, but discipline is here to make your life easier. Because if I become disciplined and I do what I'm supposed to do now, it is available to me in the future. My future self can be happy about it. For example, if I eat good, I'll feel good, okay? If you eat tacos and lay down, don't be surprised when you have acid reflux. Like that's 1 + 1 = 2. But also, like if I go to sleep at a regular time and I wake up, I may feel rested because I've given myself an adequate amount of rest. And so when we look at it, when somebody, because sleep issues is a thing that I see regularly in practice, from depression to anxiety to like sleep issue is just one of the things that people come in with on a regular basis. And I always ask them about their sleep hygiene. Like, what are your sleep practices? Like, do you have a bedtime? What do you do when you get up? And the reason why I look at those things and I want to see if you have any structure around your sleeping schedule in the first place. Because if you don't have any structure, if you don't have any discipline around your sleep schedule and you're not getting enough sleep, I can't help you manage that area of your life because there is no management happening at all. Discipline is management. Discipline is management. And we all know we've all had a manager at the job that we may or may not be able to stand. But sometimes they got on our nerves because they was making us do our job. Sometimes we give people the title at work. We be like, oh, they think they the boss. They think they in charge. They think they the manager because the regular manager isn't here. Sometimes they be overstepping, but a lot of times it's just because they're trying to keep the order. They're trying to maintain some sort of discipline in the space. And so we have to treat our lives like that. We have to remind ourselves that if things stay in order now, though, our future self can be appreciative of it. If you stay on top of your chores, though you may not want to do them in the morning, you will be appreciative that they are done later on. Though you don't want to save money now, you will be appreciative when you go on your vacation that your pockets are a little heftier. Though you don't want to give up the sugar and the candy and the bread, you will be appreciative when your diabetic numbers are in a range in which they need to be. I ain't got no diabetes, so I don't know what the sugars are supposed to be, but I know you ain't supposed to eat the sugars when you got the sugars. But many of us are running into different complications in life and we're trying to pray ourselves out of it and we're trying to work ourselves out of it and we're trying to grind harder and we're trying to go tougher. But what we really need is more discipline around the things that we are actually doing. What we need is more structure around what we already have. What we need is to steward what is available to us a little bit better and not give in to the temptations of our flesh, but really yield to the things that we need to do in order to have the things that we want to have later on. Discipline is about doing what is necessary now so that it can be advantageous to you in the future, so that your life can run smoother in the future. I know it's Sunday, y'all don't want to do your laundry, but you got to do it so you have drawers all week. Because as mad as you're going to be about having to go and do your laundry right now today, you're going to be way madder on Wednesday when you don't have time and you don't have drawers. Discipline is a gift from yourself to yourself. It is what you can do for yourself now that will benefit you later on. it is structure, it is management. And it's not always about doing more. Sometimes it's about telling yourself no and doing less. Sometimes you don't need to go out, you need to rest. Sometimes you don't have to keep working, you need to stop and eat. Sometimes you don't have to keep grinding, you need to recuperate so that you can be more functional later on. It's not about taking all the bad things away from you. I mean, all the good things away from you. Sometimes it's about taking the bad things away from you too. Discipline, structure for a better you. So, how does discipline look? What does that actually look like? Like, how does that actually play out in your real world? Well, discipline can look actually quite easy. Discipline looks like goal setting and execution. Discipline looks like setting out an objective for your life, being intentional, and actually doing the things to follow through. Doing all the things to follow through. And so when I do goal setting with people, there's a model called GPA that I like to follow because it's very, very simple. Your goal, your plan, and the action steps that you want to take in order to execute the plan. So my goal might be I want to lose 20 pounds. My plan might be I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. I want to eat a vegetarian diet. I want to eat in a calorie deficit. Okay. So if we're going to do that, then the action steps need to be knowing where my gym shoes are, making sure my gym membership is up to date, grocery shopping for XYZ meals that I want to eat so that I set myself up for success. Discipline looks like actually following the actions that you said you were going to take in order to do the goal that you want to do. Now, you will meet physical and spiritual opposition when you do goal setting, when you try to be disciplined, when you want to move forward. And that takes me back to the scripture in Ephesians. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. Don't you think it's funny how whenever you set out to do well in life, whenever you are motivated to move forward, whenever you like to grow, whenever you ready to get your stuff together, your life together, stuff always happens. Life always falls apart. Naysayers seem to come out of the woodwork. Well, when I would do good, evil is all around. When you set out to do well, when you set your intentions and you put that into the universe, so you tell that to God, and this is what you want to do, the spirits, the principalities, the wickedness, they hear it too. And if this is something in God's will that is going to make you shine bright, everything that wants you to go against God's will do its level best to stop you. And this is where discipline comes in, because your emotions will sway with the way that these powers, with the way the darkness will want to take you. Your emotions will sway when it gets hard. Your emotions will sway and you won't want to do things. But discipline will tell you, all right, these are the actions that we said we were going to take. And we're going to go about reasonable ways in order to take them. Plain and simple. We're going to do it even though we don't want to. We're going to do it even though we're tired. We're going to do it because we're making an investment in our future self, and being successful in our goals, being successful in our aspiration is contingent upon us actually going about the steps and being disciplined enough to see things through from beginning to end to achieve our goal. You see how that ain't got nothing to do with punishment? And it feels like punishment because when we were kids, it's bedtime, feels like the end of the world. But its bedtime was never meant to put you on punishment for the night. It was meant to put you in position to have a successful day the next day. Doing the action steps behind the things that we aspire out of our lives is not meant to inconvenience you. It is not meant to irritate you. It's not meant to take you away from all the fun of life. It is meant to put you in position to possess the things that you desire, the things that of your heart. But when we are undisciplined, when we just allow the world and the day to take us by the hand and turn us every way but loose, and we allow the excuses to stop us versus seeing them as barriers that are temporary and that we can navigate, We, oh, they're having a party upstairs. When we see all of that, we lose sight of our discipline. We lose sight of our goal when we allow the world to take us around. But if we keep sight of it, if we keep sight of our actions, even though it is difficult to execute them, even though we have things seen and unseen trying to stop us, if you keep on top of the task, if you keep on top of your discipline, if you keep diligent and move forward, you will reap the benefits. You will reap what you sow. If you do, you will get. If you don't, you will not. Discipline. If I don't work my fields, I will not grow my crops. Discipline. If I work my fields, I'll probably have a crop. Discipline. And them crops don't care if you tired, don't care if you sad. And so discipline is about moving around the barriers and keeping to the task. Not in a way to punish you, not in a way to restrict you, not in a way to keep you from having fun, but in a way to make sure that what it is that you said you want out of your life, that you're actually able to get. In a way that says that your intentions are set, you can actually have them. I know I got some people out there that love to manifest. Some of your manifestations are not coming true because you're not disciplined enough to bring it to you. The path is right there and you're not walking it. Because it might seem big, it might seem difficult, but it really requires one action step at a time to break it down, to move forward. That's what discipline looks like. Discipline looks like setting a goal, understanding the actions that you need to take, and executing it, moving around the barriers to execute it. Undisciplined people will allow the barriers to overtake them, barriers that are easy to navigate around, because they will allow things to take them off of their order, things to take them off of their focus, things to keep them out of their systems. So, in order to actually have your in order to make discipline easier for you, in order to make your goals more attainable, one of the things that you need to do is align your goals with your values and your actions with your lifestyle. Now, I'm going to repeat that. Discipline becomes difficult for some of us because we take on tasks that don't fit us. And so for discipline to be easier for you to acquire, you have to align your goals with your values, and you have to align your actions with your lifestyle. Your goal has to be in alignment with your values, because otherwise you won't want to do it. And this is a really good pause moment for my ADHD friends out here. Your goals have to be the things that you want to do, the things that you're trying to get disciplined about, the areas in which you want to grow in your life. They have to be linked with something that actually motivates you, linked with something that actually matters to you. Otherwise, you will not care. You won't have the dopamine to dedicate to it if you wanted to. And the amount of discipline in the world, well, you ain't going to be able to get disciplined because you're not interested in the task in the first place. You won't be able to get your body to move. And so the first thing you need to do is make sure your goals align with your values, because if your goals don't align with your values, then why are you doing this in the first place? You will not get yourself to be disciplined to something that you don't care about. Now, there might be a value system that you're trying to grow within your life that maybe it's not strong at this point, but because it is something that you value intrinsically, whether or not you're expressing it on the outside of your life, you value it on the inside. And so if your goals line up for it, you have motivation. I'm not motivated to do things I don't care about. I'm not running no marathon. I don't care about going far unless I'm in my car. But I'm going to tell y'all this. I got back in the gym, not because I cared about going far, but because I sing with a choir that does entirely too much. We sing, we dance, we be having on heels and robes, and it's hot, and I want to be able to kill it every time. So it was valuable to me to give on a good performance. So I needed to get my cardio up. You see how I attached the goal to that? Okay. Well, now when I'm in the gym, if I'm going to get my cardio up, I'm doing all of this stuff in the gym, then, well, I don't want to lose my gains when I go home, so I'm going to eat better. But I got to grocery shop different if I want to eat better. I got to have high protein things and leafy green vegetables if I don't want to undo my workouts. Okay, look at you living a healthier life. Look at you living more disciplined because you've attached your goal to something that you value. I value my ability to perform. And so my goal to get stronger, to get healthier, became easy to be motivated behind because I attached the thing I want to be disciplined to something that's important to me. And then your actions have to fit your lifestyle. No matter how much we like a thing, no matter how much we value a thing, no matter how much we want to execute a thing, if it is not realistic for our lifestyle, we can't discipline ourselves into something that doesn't fit our current system. We can't discipline ourselves into, so this is how you end up punishing yourself instead of disciplining yourself. Discipline is not about torture. Discipline is not about beating yourself up or forcing yourself. Discipline is about structuring your life where the things that you want can fit. Hey, cousin Emily, she will pop in here when I'm talking about being fit. Follow Emily. She's a fitness coach and she's really fantastic. She had me throwing around a kettlebell and it made me strong. I dig it. But your actions have to fit your lifestyle. 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 If you are trying to become disciplined, let's say like you're trying to become disciplined in your eating and you would like to eat vegetarian or you would like to eat vegan and all you ever do is go get a meat deal from the Fast and Friendly for Milwaukee people, you know what I'm talking about. If that's all you ever do, then you're not going to set yourself up for success. No, you got to go shopping. You got to go get the vegetables. You have to know what recipes you want to make. You got to make things. If you know all you eat is TV dinners, then don't set yourself up for trying to make elaborate meals every single night. No, go get you some vegetarian TV dinners. Like make your actions fit your lifestyle, because no matter how much you want to do it, you won't do it. Putting things into your life that doesn't actually fit your life is setting yourself up for failure instead of setting yourself up for success. And like I said, discipline is supposed to be a gift to your future self. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't change. You should absolutely change, but make sure those changes fit your lifestyle and they become sustainable. Otherwise, if they don't fit your lifestyle and they're not sustainable, you will not do them. And then you'll end up beating yourself up because of your lack of discipline. Well, maybe you're not undisciplined. Maybe the thing that you're trying to discipline yourself to doesn't have a structure in which fits your life. Thus, you are not disciplining yourself. You are not making this a part of your life. You're not incorporating it. You're giving yourself another chore. And you're not going to be able to chore yourself into success. I mean, maybe you can, but you're going to be tired and resentful of it at the end. And the sustainability factor goes way down. And so, aligning your goals with your values and your actions with your lifestyle is going to make discipline not a chore, but part of your life. And then also to make discipline less difficult for you. And this is the part I don't like. Soliciting accountability. Soliciting accountability is the most ghetto part of this whole discipline arc, but it is incredibly necessary. And I say soliciting accountability because you need somebody to make sure that you're going to do what you said you was going to do. You need structures to make sure that you said you're going to do what you said you were going to do. Especially if you believe yourself to be undisciplined in that area, you're going to need somebody that's going to be there to call you on it when you're not doing what you're supposed to do or what you said that you were going to do, or help encourage you through those moments in which you don't really want to execute your actions. Soliciting accountability. And I say that partially because going back to the parenting thing, we learn our initial markers of discipline from our parents. And we learn it from them because they are the ones that institute our systems of discipline, but they are also the ones that enforce that we do the things. And when we have that external motivation. Well, yeah, you're not going to want to get yelled at by your parents when they get home from work. So you're going to do what they said do. But when you are on your own, when you grown and can't nobody tell you what to do in your own house, you don't have parents that are going to come home at 5 o'clock and yell because the dishes are not done and the meat ain't out the freezer. You're the parent to yell when you come home at 5 o'clock, the dishes ain't done and the meat ain't out the freezer. So who's going to hold you accountable? Well, some things you're going to have the motivation within yourself because you're only going to shoot yourself in your own foot if you don't do them. Again, discipline is a gift from your current self to your future self. So if you didn't do the dishes before you went to bed or before you left the house and they still sitting there when you get home, you can't yell at nobody but you. That's internal accountability. But for things that are a little bit bigger than that, for things that you know you need somebody to stay on your neck about, for things you know you don't trust yourself to see yourself through, sometimes you got to call on a friend. Shoot, sometimes you got to tell the internet. Sometimes you got to talk to your counselor if you got a therapist. Sometimes you need to talk to your partner or your bestie or somebody who you know is going to ask about it. Somebody who you know is going to ask about you. Or maybe you need to have a public goal. Like I have a friend who is currently, actually I have a couple of friends who are currently training for bodybuilding competitions. I don't know what's going on. Like half of the people I know is pregnant, the other half is training for bodybuilding. It's very interesting to see everybody like shifting on my timelines as these months have gone on. But regardless, she's got a goal. She competes in November and she posts every day. And some of that is for us to track her progress. And some of that is social accountability. Cause I'm gonna be looking for the how that be. I'm gonna be looking for it come November and rooting for her along the way and watching her along the way. I know it's motivating because it's like, all right, when it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the evening and it's time to work out and you working out every single day and you know people are watching, it might be like, all right, let me go on and get these pictures in. Let me go and get this workout in. Because my friends gonna be asking about it. My followers gonna be looking for it. And Lord knows I don't want to do it right now. But I'm gonna do it because I have this external piece of accountability to help motivate me, to help push me along, to help give me a little bit of a go when I'm feeling like I want to stop. For some of us, we have strong internal motivation, but we all get down. We all have those moments where life becomes much. Having some sort of outside accountability be really beneficial for making sure that you stay disciplined. And having someone help you, having someone check on you, reaching out for assistance doesn't take away from your self discipline. The fact that you can step outside of yourself and admit the fact that you need some help and you need motivation and you need accountability in that area and you actually seek it from somebody who you could trust to do it, because sometimes we know we can ask somebody who we know good and well ain't gonna remember to remind us of something. Don't play with yourself. But that's part of your self-discipline, is knowing where your limits are and doing what you need to do to circumvent them so that you can stay on top of your things. Knowing that you're weak in that area and that you need assistance and that you need community. And you know, as much as people rag on churches, um, for me, I found a sense of social accountability in my church because people are gonna be looking for you to show up. People are gonna be looking for you to work. People are going to be looking for you to uphold a certain standard of holiness. And when you don't want to, when you feel unmotivated, you know, sometimes having some walking into the building and having somebody say that they're glad to see you, even though they see you every week, um, is motivating. Is social accountability. It can be uplifting. But again, you know, discipline is not punishment, it is guidance. And so when you try to shame people into coming back to church, well, I ain't seen you in forever. Where you been? That is not going to quite provide the system or the structure of encouraging to do something that's going to be good for them. If anything, It's going to breed a bit of a punishment, and they're going to want to avoid it. People want to avoid punishment. If I feel like if I go into the church house, everybody's just going to be like, where you been? I don't want to go there. If I feel like if I'm going to get laughed at, I'm not going to want to do a thing. If I feel like I'm going to get hit on, I'm not going to want to be around. So your kids sometimes are not out here being disciplined, and they're not out here listening to you because you're that good of a parent. Sometimes they're only listening to you because they scared you're going to beat on them. That is not what discipline is made of. Discipline is made of teaching the thing that should be done, enforcing the things that should be done, encouraging the things that should be done, guiding the things that should be done. Of course, there is punishment of the things that are completely out of order. I believe that there's a necessary part, especially of child rearing. But too many of us have a disproportionate view of what discipline is, and we lean on the punishment aspect of it, and we forget about the beautiful guidance and the encouragement and the learning opportunities that can take place when we are navigating through. Yes, in those moments when things are done imperfectly, there's an opportunity to discipline your child or discipline yourself by learning from the mistake, by learning a better system in which this can be executed, by learning a more efficient way. Because sometimes when you're failing at things, when you're not doing well at things, when you're dropping the ball at things, it's because you just don't have an efficient way of getting it done. That's why you're undisciplined. That's why you're unmotivated. You don't want to do it because the action steps don't fit with your lifestyle. You don't want to do it because the goal is not actually in alignment with your values. So you drop the ball and you feel bad. But some of us are feeling bad over stuff that we ain't even had a business being engaged in the first place because it doesn't even fit us and it doesn't even fit our lifestyle. But we feel like we should be doing it. So, hey, let's do it. Everybody want to own a business these days. Some of us just need to go to work, and that's okay. Some of us don't have the motivation for that. Some of us don't even have the desire for that. Somebody got to work for everybody. All of us can't be entrepreneurs. Somebody got to be an employee, and there's nothing wrong with that. Trying to keep up with other folk, or how you out here trying to be disciplined in an area that is not even important to you. So ultimately, we talked about discipline today because for me, I didn't realize how undisciplined I was until I started listening to how many times I told myself I'll do it later. I didn't realize how undisciplined I was until I recognized how many areas in my life I was doing things that didn't have a system or a plan or any sort of a structure. It just needed to happen, and so I make it happen. But I'm working inefficiently and I'm wearing myself out. Because for everything I'm undisciplined about, I got to cram in later on. For everything that I'm undisciplined about, I have to figure out a more difficult way to do. For everything I'm undisciplined about, I'm now operating smoothly in that area. And so I found liberation in the idea of being disciplined, believe it or not. I found more efficiency in the idea of being disciplined, believe it or not. I found a lot of motivation in the realm of being more disciplined, because I say to myself quite frequently, does the future you need this? Does the future you need you to do it right now? And when the answer is yes, I can get up and be way more motivated because I know I'll be appreciative of it. And I don't need anybody else to be appreciative of it. I will be. My life will run smoother. I'll be happier. And for that, look, that's how you reclaim your life, by doing for you what you need to do for you, so that when you get to your future, everything is set exactly the way that you need it to be. You ain't got to rush. You ain't got to fuss because it was laid out. Of course, we're going to have our moments in our time where things are imperfect. That's okay, because we can take the opportunity to get the things out of the way that we can get out of the way. We can get the things that taken care of that we can get taken care of, so we have the mental space, time, and energy to handle the things of life that are unpredictable. All right. I think that's all I got to say on that subject. So we're gonna pray and we're gonna have our final announcements and we're gonna peace up out of here. All right. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for the opportunity to meditate on this subject of discipline. I ask that you lead me and you guide me and you encourage me and those who are following and those who are listening to open their eyes and see in which areas they can be more disciplined and which areas they can be more efficient and which areas they can come to themselves and make their own lives easier. Father God, I appreciate you. I love you. God bless those who listen, those who share, those who are encouraged by this broadcast. In the name of Jesus, amen. Okay. So, okay. Final words. Um, this is my last live episode as a 35-year-old. When y'all see me live next time, it will be. I don't think I'm coming in on the first May, the first Sunday in May, like I'm supposed to, because that's my actual birthday. So I think I might take the week off. I'll let y'all know. But regardless of whether or not I take that week off, this is my last live episode as a 35-year-old. And I came into this year feeling and knowing that this was going to be one of the best years of my life. And it has absolutely been one of the best years of my life. If you've been watching along the way, I've done a lot of traveling, I've done a lot of growing, I've done a lot of shifting and relearning me and how to love myself and how to create boundaries and how to be more bold. Like there's so many things that have changed with me in the last year. I look at my intro, I look at where is that this girl right here who's approximately yeah, she's about a year old exactly. And I just feel like she's a completely different person than I am. Um she had to have a lot of audacity just to take this picture. Um but she had the guts and the gusto to attempt to grow, to look forward into the future and say, let's do this, regardless of the endeavors that I have taken that have been terrifying in the moment. And so I'm appreciative of God's guidance and grace over the last year. I'm appreciative of this space that I've had to talk about myself and my things over the last year. I'm appreciative of all the people that I've met over the last year. Um, my life is very different. My social circles are very different. But a lot of the love that I had before is still the same. I have a beautiful village who wrap themselves around me, and I've been able to see that in real time and been able to appreciate that in real time. I've traveled places I've never traveled before. I've performed on so many stages across the last year. I've visited out of the country. I did not perform out of the country, but I performed all across the country. I've had an opportunity to meet several different uh, uh, like gospel stars or perform with or for them over the last year. It has really been a riveting experience. And so I'm looking forward to 36. I don't know if it's going to be quite as eventful in the same way as 35. I feel like it's going to be a year of a lot of work, but good work that is going to really be lucrative and beautiful for me in the years to come. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about where my newfound levels of discipline are going to take me. And I'm excited. I'm not excited to say that I'm 36. I think that year is it's lame, but whatever. Maybe I'll say 35 again. I'll say 35 till I'm 40. I don't have a problem with aging. I don't know. Some years sound cooler than others. But regardless, I appreciate you guys spending time with me. If you would like to support the Moment with Mo Sketty podcast, feel free to hit my Cash App, buy me a coffee, buy me a car, whatever is in your wallet or whatever is on your heart. I appreciate it. It's hashtag Mo Sketty. Um, yeah. Thank you for spending a moment with me. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Take me out, Tone.